what's going on out there with the bike industry? If you like these honest videos, if you like hearing the raw truth, give the video a like. If you want to hear fairy tales and marketing bullshit and Rafa style, S-Works, Cervelo disc brake, TT, time trial, Canyon, Speed Max, 10 kilo aero bike hype, then stop watching now. It's crazy, man. The questions I get asked, the statements I get sent in Instagram from new cyclists, experienced cyclists, people in the industry, writing to me with confidentiality, private discussions that will never be public because people trust me to keep things private. I respect that. But the stuff they tell me, like seasoned cyclists who work for these big brands writing to me and go, what the fuck is going on? Our product, our brand has become golf. Like golf clubs. We're just selling overpriced junk to absolute idiots, pretentious barristers, surgeons, accountants, etc. Just junk. People want to rock up to the cafe of a $20,000 bike that is a piece of junk compared to what we sold 10 years ago. People work in the bike industry saying, I don't really enjoy my bike job. I don't really enjoy my job as a bike mechanic anymore. These bikes are just crap, man. Like working on the Cervelo S5 or the SL7 Tarmac or, the Trek Madone. It's just the new Cannondale Super 6 with a dodgy fork problem. Just, they're just like, what is going on? Like back in the day, I've been a bike mechanic for like 10, 20 years. And, you can strip and build a bike within like an hour with your eyes closed. And the customer is going to have a good experience. They're going to have a good weekend out there. Nothing's going to slip. Nothing's going to shear off. You're just going to have a good experience. And now, it's a joke. What's going on? It's pushing people away from cycling. And I have to agree, cycling's becoming less and less accessible. It's like it's a conspiracy going on. You start cycling as a kid and you ride some bike with crappy brakes, like really crappy brakes, that would have cost just the same to make as a little V brake or a little rim brake. Same amount of metal, probably actually more metal because it's heavier. And then people ride a Huffy or some Kmart or Big W Target bike, Walmart thing for $100 or $200. It's a piece of junk. The chain skips and the gears go out and the brakes just like rub the rim the whole time. And the seat's just poorly designed. And the whole geometry of the bike just sucks. So you ride that and you think, stuff that, cycling sucks. You do a low carb diet or you fear sugar. So your legs are actually tanked because you've got not insufficient glycogen because you've bred somewhere that carbs are bad for you. Jamie Oliver, it's crap. And then you're riding this crappy bike, and you go to ride to work, and the gears are jump. It's just a poor cycling experience. And you stuff this. I'm getting a car, I'm getting a bus, I'm getting the train. And then one day you got your fat, and you want to lean out, or you just want to feel fit again. Versus an SSRI blob, which someone described yesterday. Harley, I feel like an SSRI blob. I'm like, what? It's just all these SSRI medications just made me into a fat blob. I feel useless. Help me. And so people might get on a bike and then they buy a road bike second hand that's the wrong size. There's not much education out there. Like, it's such a steep learning curve to become a cyclist. Hopefully you meet me first, and hopefully you believe what I say. Versus, durianrider. Oh no, durianriders, you can't trust him what he says. Just go and listen to Specialized, or go and listen to Rafa, or go and listen to these people who want to. It's just crazy. It's crazy, but I don't suffer. I mean, I get frustrated, but the end user suffers because they buy a bike today from a bike shop and it's got road disc and they spend so much, and those bikes aren't good to ride compared to what I promote. They're just not, man. They're not, and there's no one in the bike industry who'd disagree with me. Absolutely no one. But if you're a noob, you don't know that. If you're a noob and you're susceptible to like emotional talk, like you love tech words and hype and fancy jargon that you don't understand, but you think, well, I'll nod my head, it makes me look cool, makes me look smart, I'll nod my head, and I'll get status because I'll buy the latest bike because it's super expensive. And hey, if that makes you happy, go and do that. But it won't be as good as one of the bikes on my Bike Buyer's Guide recommendation list. It won't. It just won't. I know, because I've ridden them all. I've ridden them all, man. There's not a bike out there, a model that I haven't ridden, that's that you'd hear about, that's on YouTube. It's crazy. It's sad to see. So cycling's becoming less and less accessible. So you buy one of these new bikes, and it costs you $10,000-$20,000, and you could have got better performance for a $1,000 to $2,000 bike from my bike buyers list. Literally, you can, if you want it, but it won't be the latest. It won't be the latest. And if you want to keep up the Joneses, then you've lost the race before you even started. You've lost the race before you even start. Once you want to keep up the Joneses and impress people who don't even really care about you, then you've lost. Straight away, you're lost. It's basically like jumping off a cliff, thinking you're going to land on your feet. Nah, you're lost, man. You're lost. But you won't lose with your life. Fortunately, you just lose with your performance in your pocket and your experience with what could be a great thing. Cycling is meant to simplify your life. You buy a bicycle, it's going to save you money. It's going to simplify your life. You're going to have a good experience. These days, though, man, the bike's in the shop, the brakes are rubbing, the freaking, the 12-speed derailleur, the alignment's not properly, it hasn't been faced right, the bottom bracket. I mean, the bottom bracket's getting better, the BSA is coming back. I'm looking at a bike right now. I've got a Lightspeed Classic, 10-speed Durace, 7800, and the bike's just flawless, It's got Mavic wheels in it, so the free hub will wear out eventually, the poles, but other than that should last 20,000k for the wheel. It's going to be a good experience. It's got compact bars, good gear ratios for my area. It's just a dream to ride. It's an easy bike to ride. Fast forward today, it'll be, 12-speed electric gearing, so the derailleur hang has to be dead straight, otherwise the gearing's just jumping around too much. The disc brakes is so expensive to maintain. Now you got to spray your pistons, and it's just, oh man, it's just fab. Just for a road bike, right? Just for a road bike. You just want to go for a road ride, commute, etc. I'm a bike mechanic. I know I can service all these bikes, and it's just I don't look forward to servicing the tech bikes. They're not even tech. They're not tech. That's not tech. 6.8 kilo rim brake. That's tech. That's technology. What do you call these new? The FAF. I call them faffy bikes. I don't look forward to. I often don't service the FAF. Someone's got a bike, and I'm like, take it to your local bike shop. Take your local bike shop. The price would be expensive, but that's justifiable because to work on these bikes these days, it's a lot of faff, man. Like if someone said to me, "Hey, can you pull my Cervelo S5 disc brake bike headset out and grease it?" About, oh man, nah, it's all good. Take it to the bike shop. Even if it was a good friend, I'm like, no man, I'm not dealing with that, dude. Don't give me your problems, man. You take it to the bike shop. But if it's a Cervelo S5 rim brake bike, I'm like, man, I'll do it for free. I'll do it in the park for 5 minutes. Bring the rag, bring the grease, it's all good. So that's just how it is, man. But yeah, it's becoming less accessible. You see these hipsters out there. They're not hipsters. They're Karens and they're Kens. The male version of a Karen and a Ken. Sorry, Ken and Karen, if that's your name, but you know what I'm saying. You got these Karen and Kens out there hiding behind a piercing, a septum ring, or a Rafa jersey or whatever. It's like, man, you're just a Karen and Ken, man. Like, and you're not making cycling accessible. You know what I mean? You're like putting this fake smile. I'm making cycling accessible. Yay! Look what I just got given from the big bike brands. This you couldn't afford. Most of my audience couldn't afford. But I feel cool because I've got something you can't afford. Yay! I'm a down to earth person. No, you're not. You're fake. You're just all the rest of them, man. You don't belong in cycling. You're making cycling worse. You're just using cycling for self promotion. You don't really care about your audience. If you did, you'd promote things that actually work for them versus what works for your bank balance. Think about that. Look around, people, at the world we live in. It's getting more and more cutthroat, and I feel less and less a part of it every single day. That's why I'm here, to be totally honest with you when it comes to your health, your fitness, your weight loss, your cycling, your running. They're areas I won't ever bullshit my audience. I might bullshit people in other areas, but when it comes to that, nah, you're going to get the cold, hard truth, even if you like it or didn't ask for it. Because I care about cycling, I care about running, I care about people getting the good quality life. Versus eating a low-carb diet or fearing sugar and just having a total mental breakdown and just dissolving your family experience. Like, the mothers out there and the fathers out there who think sugar's bad, they damage their kids. Most of them aren't trying to do that, but they're going to damage their kids. You're not going to be the parent you could be if you consume sugar as much as you want. and you limit your fat intake. You know, you're not going to be the parent. Just, you know, even if you don't limit fat intake, if you limit sugar intake, you're still going to have a very, very poor existence as a parent compared to what you could be. Your kids are going to probably have eating disorders. I see it all the time. The kids with eating disorders, we're digressing here, but it's an important subject. Let's roll with it. The kids with eating disorders, you'll notice it as well, which, you know, if you haven't already. The kids with eating disorders come from parents who fear sugar, who come from money. If you have money, if you're, you know, affluent person, then you're like, oh, sugar's bad, sugar's for peasants, white rice is for peasants. I don't do that, that's unhealthy. And then if you want to stay slim, you have to restrict and do all this other stuff because you eat too much fat now, you feel crap, and you're running on stims, and your kid's got to have eating disorders. I've never ever met a child who didn't have an eating disorder, whose parents didn't fear sugar. Like, if you don't fear sugar, your kids can't have an eating disorder, right? If there's no scales in the house, if you just eat healthy, eat as much carbs and sugar as you want, keep fat intake low, like healthy, you know, then your kids won't have an eating disorder. But they will look at you weighing yourself, they'll look at you obsessing over your weight, they'll see you restricting sugar, and they'll get hungry and eat flat, and they go, oh, I'm getting fatter, I have to restrict now, I have to do calories in, calories out. That's how it all starts. It starts with the parents. The parents are the blame for the kid's eating disorder. Now, if you're an adult with eating disorder, then that's your choice. But if you're just a kid or a teenager, you don't know any better, then it's your parents' fault. Tell them that from me. Tell your parents and they calm the fuck up. But that's the cycling industry, you know. It's eating disorders are rife. People looking for calorie burning machines, and I get it, you know. I get it. Most people out there, you know, they just want to try and lose weight and get skinny, and that's great. Get people into their health, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting approval from other people. You know, we want to ride the bling brands, and we want to feel we're important. We've got status. We've got the latest. We've got the most expensive. And I get it, man. That's just human nature. But at the expense of enjoying the actual hobby of cycling and making cycling accessible to other people. You know, I got unlimited money when it comes to bikes. I've got brands all the time trying to give me stuff, and I say thanks, but no thanks. I don't believe in that product. You know. Well, I do get that product because it's recommended, like the SL7, etc. I get it because, you know, you guys voted for it, and I get them. And I'm like, this is a poor experience. And I was hoping it was going to be a good experience because I loved the brand back in the day. But yeah, cycling is becoming less accessible in a mainstream sense, and we're seeing less cyclists really. Like, I'm seeing definitely a downturn of cyclists compared to a few years ago on my local climb, Norton Summit, which I know intimately. I'm seeing less riders. I'd say the peak was probably like 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and then road discs starting to come out, and it's just, you know, all my road disc brake bikes, I don't ride as much as my lightweight rim ones. They're just not as enjoyable to ride. It's like shoes. I don't use my trail shoes as much as I use my racing flats, even just walking to the supermarket. It's got to be usable. But that's just me. What would I know? Only never had a driver's license. I'm age 44. Been racing for like 25 years and working all the bikes, ridden all the bikes. Love cycling. It's my life. But yeah, it's just sad to see these big brands just becoming like car industry. You know, a lot of us started cycling because we're like, I don't want to be another car on the road. But I can just ride my bike and, you know, save money. And that these days, the cost of getting into cycling, if you don't know me, or if you don't believe me, it's going to cost you a lot, and you're going to have a poor experience, and you're probably going to quit. I mean, the average cyclist is going to quit. All these cycling people, GCN, Cycling Tips, Cycling News, Bike Radar, Velo News, sugar's bad, you know, sugar's bad, ride a disc brake road bike. What sort of experience is that? That's not going to be fun. That's going to be shit. These people are they're killing cycling off, in my opinion. And I don't think they mean to. I think they just follow the money. They just follow the marketing. They just follow the narrative because they're scared of speaking out. You know, even if they know the truth, they're scared of speaking out. And it's at the expense of cycling. It's at the expense of the community. It's sad to see, but you know, you can always rely on the truth about cycling for me, for sure, because I care about the sport. I care about, not even the sport, I care about the lifestyle. Yeah, cycling for me is a lifestyle. The sport aspect's cool, but it's a lifestyle at the end of the day.